everybody to this new video of the Sustainable Wardrobe series. Today I am going to react to The True Cost. The True Cost is a documentary that came out in 2015. The first section that just gets to me is the part where the narrator talks about how the industry justifies using sweatshops. There are these two interviews. One is with a lady, Kate Young, and she just completely, I feel, intentionally misinterprets the question, so I'm not going to even talk about what she mentions. But the other interview is with a gentleman and his name is Benjamin Powell, and the way that he goes about justifying the cheap labor, the way people are treated, is that there are worse circumstances. So the circumstances that they have to choose from are either working in one of these factories or working somewhere else that's way worse. That doesn't make it good. It's like if you had superheroes and the comic existed of only the bad guys, and you're like, well, I don't really think it's a bad thing to be the Penguin because it's not as bad as being the Joker. That's bullshit. Also, if you hear that somebody started playing music in the background, apologies. I have no control over my neighbors. So the second part that needs to be referenced is Shima's storyline. She is the mother and factory worker that we follow throughout this documentary, and it lends a real human perspective to the story that they're talking about. By introducing this person that we can relate to, it makes you really empathize with the story that much more, I would say. The part that really got to me is when she talks about having formed a union in her factory and how there was an altercation. She calls it an altercation, which makes it slightly unclear what actually happened, but there was an altercation, and after that the factory manager and workers locked them into a room and just beat them up with scissors. I can't even picture it, and I don't even understand how this is something that is possible and how we as like people and as consumers have allowed this to happen. Her telling that story as something that has obviously hurt her but seemed like something that was almost to be expected was horrible. There are so many things in this documentary that deserve a mention. Again, please just watch it. The final thing that must be mentioned, apart from obviously the human suffering, there's also the earth which suffers. There are many images that perfectly illustrate or show the pollution that is behind the fashion industry, and specifically the landfills, the fact that we throw away so much of our clothing, so much of the way that we package things, the way that we present things is disposable, and the earth just can't cope with these vast amounts of plastic and polyblend, can't cope with all this pollution, and it just boggles the mind how much we pollute our earth and how much of that is actually from the fashion industry. It's not only doom and gloom. The documentary does show some light sparks, some solutions, some people who are there and strive to make a difference. And I must mention these people here, of course, as well, because they are an inspiration to us all, and they are the ones that are pioneering this revolution in the way that we think about fashion. So two of the ladies that I really want to mention are Sophia Mini, who is the founder of People Tree, and she talks about why she founded People Tree, but also a lot about the factories that they work with, that they invest in, and how they are not just factories but a way of restructuring community within the environment that they influence. And it's really beautiful to see how people work together and how she takes time to speak with the people that she works with and invests in. Another person that must be mentioned is Livia Firth, founder of the Green Carpet Challenge and Eco Age, again a pioneer in helping also to get sustainable fashion through to the heart of the fashion industry by working with huge brands, but also role models, fashion icons, asking them and developing with them sustainable fashion, showing that it doesn't need to be stuffy or outdated, but can exist in any way, shape or form. as long as you use your creativity. The final person that I wanted to mention, and who actually said something that really gave me some faith in humanity, if you will, is Tansy Hoskins. She spoke about how she doesn't believe that people want to live in the system. So, but at this point, the documentary had progressed talking about the system and mainly also the capitalist system and how it enables the continuance of the way in which we think about fashion, but also many other products that we consume. And she was saying that she doesn't believe that people want to live in a system that damages our earth and exploits our fellow men, and that people are not actually happy in living in the system. It's just that, first of all, it's hard to break the chain, and it's hard to find an alternative. And of course, those things are true, but I find it very inspiring and lovely, really, to think that this is not what people want. I do believe that also. I don't think this is what people want. Ultimately, nobody wants to live in a system like this, and that it does actually make people unhappy, not only because of the way that it makes us think about ourselves and our own values, but also the way in which, like I said, it exploits the earth and the people that live on it. And I think that's a lovely thought to finish with. Nobody wants this, and we can all change it. That was my reaction to True Cost documentary. Please let me know your reaction. I'd love to hear what you thought about it and what inspired you most about it. Please also comment up if you feel like you want to challenge me on any... Well, it sounded incredulous. You can want to challenge me, and please let me know if you do, or if you want to comment on any of the things that I said. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye!